Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LFA Shop. This week I'm buying another Falcon. So I bought a Falcon and this is the first I'm seeing of it. I don't really know anything about it. We'll get off the trailer and have a look. Alright, so we've got a few people around. We're doing a bit of a betting game, playing kilometres. There's a sticker that says 170,000. What were the guesses? 195, 205, 220 and 240. It's got 150,000 Ks on it and it started first shot, which is just ridiculous. So I'm going to do it again. This is second shot, but... Daily. Give it a little blip. Go again, it's spitting rust out. The front's pretty tappy. The rest of it's pretty good. It's 156,000, sorry, not 150. I'll just let it warm up. Alright, so it's been here for about 20 minutes. Been running, seems pretty happy. The temp gauge has barely moved. Just came up a little bit and stayed there. We got like 3/4 of a tank of old fuel, but we're all good. Everything seems really good. Everything seems to work. We noticed one broken speaker grill on the passenger door, but other than that, it seems really good. So I just spoke to my auntie, and it sounds like this was a old fella's car, and he passed away and left it to his son, which is her boss. So I'm possibly the third owner, because those two blokes. And then we found paperwork for it being a fleet car. So it could have been a fleet car for about 40,000 Ks, and then after 40,000 there's receipts for everything, which I'm assuming is the old blokes when he took ownership of it. So looks really good. It's got 157,000 Ks on it. All the tyres are in date, they all have tread, all the doors work, boot works, all the tint's pretty good. There's a few little marks on the paint and stuff, but it's all really good. Just needs a polish and a clean. But overall, I'm really happy with it. Jackson's tried to buy it like 3 times already. And he's Snapchatting all his mates, but looks really good. I'm assuming those seat covers have been on since like 40,000 Ks. So when I get into this thing, I'll clean those, take those off and clean the interior out. And the boot's really good. It does have the stick in it to hold it up, but I don't actually think it needs it. And just overall, really, really good. The rear bumper's a bit of like sun fade on the clear. Bit of peely clear. But that's really about it. There's a dent in the driver's door and that broken speaker cover, and that's really about it. There's a few touch-ups in little like chips of paint and stuff like this. Someone's used what looks like nail polish just in a bunch of spots, but I reckon if you actually polished over that it would come up pretty good. So when I get to this thing, which is not going to be soon, we need to do the KE10, but when I get to this we'll polish it all, clean it all, and give it a bit of a freshen up, see how good it really is.
How it's done.
So we were looking through the books earlier, and then Jackson had another separate look, and it does actually have the first 30,000 services. So it's not ticked off or anything, but that's all right. And then it's got all dates and stamps for the first 30,000, and then receipts from, well, that one's 39,000, and then that's probably when they would have sold it. Oh, there's another one there. What's that one? 40,000. Okay, so there is in the book, and then we've got receipts from 40,000 to 150,000, I think, 155 or something like that. So yeah, all of the services are written in there, and then we've got receipts for nearly all of it as well. What an absolute dream boat! What a dream boat! It is definitely a boat, but that's alright. So we just found an address in the book, a post office address. So Google that, and it comes up as state. So this is a state vehicle at some point, and being red, we assume fire, but not really sure. So most of the cop stuff and all the like SA Gov were all white, obviously, and then the fire service stuff is red. So this was a state vehicle or a government vehicle, and we're assuming fire. So could have been like a around town rig for the fire trucks. So pretty cool. All right, so we left this Falcon for about probably an hour. We just left it running with the old flat battery in it. hoping that the alternator will charge it a little bit. Apparently it was a good battery about a year ago, so I'm just going to turn it off and hopefully it starts again. If not, I'm up for a new battery. Perfect. Alright, so we're supposed to be working on the K10. We're going to wash this Falcon. We can't help ourselves. Alright, we've got the vacuum cleaner out, we've got the pressure washer out, we've got the degreaser out. So probably going to start on the inside, which makes more sense, and then spray the outside and the under bonnet, and hopefully it comes out good. Alright, this thing's not going to be as satisfying as the paddock car. It is a little grubby under here, so bit of degreaser, we'll pressure wash it off. It should look a whole lot nicer, but it is already pretty clean under here. Jackson's just start on the boot. That's the clear-cut line of grot. Carry on, my friend. What a disgusting boot. Wow. So yeah, this is pretty dirty. So Jackson's going over it with the pressure washer. I'm following behind him with a little rag and just giving it a wipe. And then we need to get car wash on this thing because it is so filthy. The black stuff that was on the boot is all down the side of it as well. You don't really notice it until you start cleaning, but here we are.
What's happened, mate?
Pressure washer hose bit the dust. That's alright. We got the most of it done, we just need to wash it a couple of times to try and get this junk off. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying.
One casualty so far.
And the pressure washer.
2 casualties so far.
Alright, so we finished cleaning for the day. The indicator came off. It's all pretty clean under here. A few little spots of rust here and there, but nothing too crazy. There's a big old scratch in the bonnet, which we found earlier. But overall looks really good. It's all pretty tidy. There's a bunch of little like paint marks that someone's put on it for like touch-up paint, probably door dings or whatever. If we do polish this thing, they will probably polish off. And there's a few scuffs and stuff like that around this back bumper, and the clears come off across the back bumper, but the rest of it looks pretty good. And then there's a few paint marks on here again, and a dent just there. There's another dent back there somewhere, I can't remember where it is, just in front of the tail light. I don't know if you can see that. There's a bit of a line. All the tint's pretty good, and the tyres are good, and everything seems really good. It's just a little bit knocked around, a few little spots in the bumper and stuff. So that's probably all we'll do for now. We're going to probably polish it at a later date, and then rego it and go for a drive and all that sort of stuff. Probably wash it again, because that always helps with these cars that have been sitting around for a while. So what I can tell, have been sitting around for about a year, maybe a little bit longer, so not that long. Pretty cool. Alright, so it's a new day, but I forgot to show you the interior. So we got the wool seat covers off and gave everything a quick vacuum. We haven't really like scrubbed everything to make it all clean, but the whole thing is super tidy. There's a little rip under the carpet just here, and a little mark in the seat just here. It's not a rip. And then the rest of it's really tidy. So that speaker cover on the door card is knackered, but I think that's a separate piece, so you could take it out and put a new one in. We may get there, we may not. And then the back, it's all super tidy as well. Everything's been vacuumed, everything looks really nice. And honestly, this was a really quick run over with the vacuum and take the seat covers off. So when we come back to this thing, I'd like to try and polish it and stuff, and then probably go through the interior with Armor All or similar and just go over the whole thing and give it a nice scrub. Things like the steering wheel are disgusting and gross, the handbrake and the center console, so they all need a good scrub. Try and get a vent for that door, and just the last little few things to tidy it up. But overall, it came out really good. The tyres are new enough that I'm not going to worry about putting rims on it yet. I've got rims and tyres in the shed that I was going to put on this and lower it, but we don't really need to. And it's just super tidy, and it does need a polish. It really needs a polish. But other than that, it came out really well. I'm going to glue this indicator back on. I can't really think of anything else that we need to do. Just give it another once over at a later date and hit the road. So you'll see that on another episode. But that's it for the Falcon, really. So that's it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed the Falcon, and we'll see you next week.